Welcome, kind listeners, to Under the Banyan Tree.
The live show where ancient epics meet modern minds.
I am Leo, a yogini from the West,
And I am Mayank, a rationalist from the East.
and together we journey through the Mahabharata from the retelling of Ramesh Menon, epic of war, fight, and everything in between.
Everything in between.
Today we are reading the chapter 23, The Pandavas Come Home, from the Sankalpa, of reading from the point of view of power. With this in mind, would you mind sharing your understanding of the concept power?
For me, the definition is simple show of strength. And I divided power in a quadrant. So we have hard power and soft power in one axis, and we have defensive and aggressive power in one axis. And I was trying to look into the text through these aspects like hard power or soft power or aggressive power or defensive power.
Tell me more. I don't know that concept. So would you mind?
So because I keep on reading about international relations or countries. So for example, there is a concept of hard power where you have military strength. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a concept of soft power that where instead of talking about military strength, you are talking about cultural influences. For example, China is a great hard power currently. But when it comes to soft power, there is no denying that the influence of US in terms of soft power is much higher than China.
Okay.
Similarly, there are defensive powers and aggressive powers. Like India in history was a defensive power mainly, where we didn't try to invade other countries. But Britain, during its time of colonialism, was an aggressive power because they were expansionist. They were trying to expand their boundaries. So I also thought in those terms when I was reading the text for humans as well, like how these humans are.
It's a completely new concept for me, and I thank you for sharing it with us. However, what is power? So you are telling me that we can have different types of power. It can be soft power, it can be aggressive, it can be defensive.
For
But
me, it's
what's
just
that from your point of view?
for me it's just show of strength. That's what I made. Like I didn't check for any dictionary meaning. That's my understanding that it's show of strength. That you have some strength, and if you can exhibit it, or even if people perceive it, then it's power.
Okay. For you, and even if a person itself, herself or himself doesn't feel strong, but if they show as strong, they are powerful.
That's the thing. What I also mean is that power also needs acknowledgement. Like it's like those small dogs which bark a lot, but no one gives like no one takes them seriously. So I also
Or it needs validation.
like I feel if not validation, acknowledgement from the other party should accept that yes, you have that power. Then only it has
But which
relevance.
power?
Like any, so I'm saying any kind of strength. It can be physical brute strength. It can be a supernatural power like what we see later with Vyas. The thing is, the other person has an acknowledgement to it.
Okay.
So then I feel it's power, or else it's just show off, and you are just showing off even something which you don't even possess. That's
And
what I
for you, power, it's always something in a dynamic relationship. So power doesn't exist isolated.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like I just feel that it's a relative concept.
Hmm.
Like
For
say,
sure, I think it's an abstract concept. It's not tangible.
yeah, but
Well,
sometimes it can be.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
say physical strength, you can tangibly tell who is more
Hmm.
strong or something. But what I feel is that it's always relative. Like if you don't have a second party to
Hmm.
compare it, like then what is the meaning of that power?
This will be a very interesting conversation.
Let's go. What you have in your bag?
Well, my approach is completely different,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you can infer that by the questions that I asked you,
Mm-hmm.
because for me is what its power itself. So I always go to the definition from David Hawkins,
Mm-hmm.
where he talks about power and force, where power exists for itself. So, and I took some notes. So, power comes from truth, integrity, and alignment with a higher consciousness, where by nature, force relies on coercion, control, and manipulation. And the key idea is power does not oppose, it simply is. It draws strength from universal truth and coherence, while force always creates a contraforce, opposition, and it provokes resistance and cannot sustain itself for a long time. And and this is just a small snapshot. And I many times experienced this myself at the personal level when I'm doing something that aligns with me, with my nature, with my truth. It doesn't matter how other people can perceive it as draining. It actually fuels me and gives something to others. It energized other people and energized myself.
Mm-hmm.
While when I'm forcing myself to do something that is not aligned with my nature, I end up being drained, and at some stage, I'm not giving to others. And I think we see that in the dynamics of people. We see people that are constantly creating resistance in others and people that naturally flow. I don't know how this can be depicted as at a nation level or at, but that's my I'm much more drawn to this conception of defining power itself and what is to live life from a place of power instead of a place of force.
I think this explains the difference between you and me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You are very much, you look inward and I look outward, and our definitions also reflect that.
Yes, 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 100%.
Uh,
Yeah, I agree with you.
yeah. So I would just like to, and that, to be honest, I couldn't grapple or understand the definitions which you gave, and I'm hoping that later through some examples I'll be able to understand them more.
Um,
Because as I said, like I look outward, I feel the concepts which I talked about, they are probably very real,
mhm.
tangible, quantifiable. The things which you talked about were more abstract. Uh, they can probably only be experienced, and
They
I,
are subjective.
yeah, they are subjective. Like I can't put numbers to them. That's what I feel. Like say the the way I talked about hard power. So you can tell that US has these many aircrafts, China has these many warships. They are quantifiable numbers.
But I think that's the external perception of society, and maybe the main value of that is that the other countries are afraid of US. So, and if I look at it from my point of view, fear is a low vibration energy, therefore probably associated with force, coercion, instead of love and compassion and kindness.
Okay.
So they will push through, but it's always draining energy, and it's not from a place of truth.
Okay. I would say on this we should move ahead because I would like to see how Pandavas get into power with love, compassion, and care.
It's not about. I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, and you know that I have many conflicted interpretations of the actions of the Pandava later on the text. And, there is a validation that they are on the side of truth because Krishna is at their side. But they theoretically, or what the epic wants to tell us, is that they are fighting on the side of truth, on the side of Dharma. So regardless, their actions they are driven by truth, and therefore they create less resistance, and they are less exhausting than the actions of someone that are acting from a place of greed or envy. And for me, it's like the simple example that volunteering, helping others, it gives you something. You are not receiving anything material. You cannot measure what you receive, but in fact you are receiving something, and you are improving your mental health. You are improving your state of being just by giving. And maybe because the energy behind it is power, is not force.
I think let's dive into the text and then let's take a call where we see power and where we see force.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I to be honest, I didn't look into force. I just look into power, and power in different ways, not only strictly accordingly to this definition of the book from David Hawkins. But yes, let's do it.
Okay, so I invite you to go through the process of Shravan. Is it?
Yes.
The summary?
Shravan.
Yes. So
it's that part that I love.
yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, summary. Kunti and the Pandavas escorted by the entourage of sages traveled for 17 days and arrived to the ramparts of Hastinapura. When they reached the doors of the city with the consent of Yudhishthir, Bhima rattled the city gates. The guards came. The eldest Rishi requested the guards to send word to Bhishma and Dhritarashtra that they have visitors whom they must come out to receive. With such a serious gaze, the guards didn't question the Rishi and went to the palace. Bhishma guessed who was back, and with the king Vidura, Satyavati, Ambika, Gandhari, the sons of Dhritarashtra, in their royal retinue, arrived to the city gates. Witnessed by Duryodhan, wroth the 5 Pandavas were presented one by the Rishi to the royal family, stating their natural fathers. Everyone was wondering where Pandu was, and with the revelation that he had passed away, Bhishma wept, Ambalika fainted. Dhritarashtra was swept over by the memories of a loving, patient brother. Vidura cried like a baby. Like a boy, actually. The funeral rituals of Pandu and Madri were led by Vyasa, and after the ceremonies were finished, Vyasa went to talk with his mother. He told her that now was time for her to go to the forest because he saw a vision when he was in the Himalayas, and the fate that is coming to Hastinapura is evil, and she cannot bear it. And there would be a battle between Dharma and Adharma. Millions will fight and die, most without knowing the reason for their being born and being slaughtered like beasts on a hunt. Satyavati knew he was telling the truth. Herself saw the evil growing within the walls of the palace. Ambika and Ambalika agreed to go with her. After a life of sorrow, it was time for them to finally find peace. Bhishma, that had looked more anxious than ever, was called by Satyavati to receive the news. His strength was shaken. Through the years, a bond was created between them, and with her going, the shadow of loneliness was casted upon Bhishma. He thought about making use of the boom of summoning his own death whenever he wanted. Satyavati forbade it. She was no longer strong and brave, but he had to endure and fulfill his dharma. Don't dream of dying until dharma is firmly established in the house of the Kuru, and Yudhishthir rules from his throne. 6 people enter Hastinapura and 3 left. A chapter ends in the history of Hastinapura.
Oh, that's a very well written summary.
Sorry, yeah. Thank you.
It was really good. Am I allowed to correct a couple of mistakes?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
Just I just want to clarify because of the pronunciation thing. You said Satyavati got the news and the boon for Bhishma. So because
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, very well. I think very well summarized the whole chapter, and I also liked the poetic writing in the summary. So thank you.
It was a poetic chapter.
Yeah.
So I think
And I really liked the conclusion. I didn't think it that way. 6 people entered and 3 left.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was my own doing.
No, that was a very nice touch. So, after the summary, shall we start looking into the instances where we felt power?
Okay. You can start.
Okay. And I am going with my outward definition of power. And to me, my first instance was when the rishis, they reached the doors of Hastinapur, and this is that example of the perception of their power. They didn't exhibit anything. The guards, they perceived that, oh, probably the demand which they are putting is bit ridiculous, that summon your king and Bhishma here, but they knew the powers of a rishi, they were aware of those things, and therefore they complied. And for me,
do you think it was force or power?
I don't know. Like, to be honest, they didn't exhibit any threat from their end.
From my point of view, and maybe this is wrong, this is an example of fear where the the belief system of the one that perceives is the one that gives force or power to the other person, because they follow the instructions of the rishi because they were afraid of being cursed to be born as a dog or something worse in the next life.
But fear of what, if I may ask?
Fear of the curse. Fear that the rishi will curse them. The rishis.
But the thing is that
it's what's written in the book.
But not everyone has the power to curse anyone and make it happen.
Yeah. And because the rishis are famous of having that power, that fear play within them and they follow the instructions.
So as per your definition, is it power or force?
I think the perception of the guards was based on force.
Okay.
What the rishi have himself as is a power. So it's something that they developed. The usage as a curse, but I think they worked on themselves and to follow the laws of dharma. And I think through this chapter, what we see is the rishis only following dharma. They don't gain anything from walking during 17 days and present the Pandavas to the kingdom. And when it's done, they simply vanish. They are not getting anything within this life. They are just follow dharma. So individually, they have power, as power, not force.
Okay, probably it makes sense. But I have no such distinction in my head that power comes from a place of, say, no threat or anything. Like for me, I do not perceive power and force to be very different. I just feel that if you have it, you have it. And if you don't, you don't.
For me, it's not something that you have. It's something that you feel. And is... But it's a energy. It's a universal energy.
But I don't think so. Like rishis, it's not that they feel they have that power. They earned it, so they have it.
They earned it.
Yeah, but you always have to earn it. But
not accordingly to the rules of power that you have. In the sense, there's many people that have power and that power was inherited.
Yeah, but okay, like if you
they
got
individually
it
didn't earn it,
and so that's privilege. We can't deny privilege, but I still feel that you need to have it. Like you can't simply feel it. Like I can't simply feel powerful if I don't have the means to support it. Just by I feel okay at an individual level for some spiritual practices, I can get it. But if you want something material out of it in this world, just feeling it is not enough.
How do you have power?
Like
how you have ownership of power?
I just feel that, say, your powers can be in many different forms and shapes. It can be physical strength, it can be wealth, it can be influence, it can be great communication skills. So I just believe that if you have any of such things, you can't. Okay, you may try to fake it by feeling it, but again, as I said, it needs acknowledgement from the other parties. I can't just go and shout that I am a great speaker, or I can just feel that I am a great speaker if people don't perceive it that way. And that's why I feel, say, for spiritual practices, for something where you are only accountable to yourself, where you are only acknowledging yourself, there is no one else validating you, acknowledging you, uh, gauging you, that may work. But for uh, material life, I don't think it works that way. And
And
that's where I don't distinguish between power and force a lot, to be honest.
when I say you have to feel it,
Mm-hmm.
it's there's a subjective experience that the Rishi for sure was feeling and feels in the day-to-day life. It's his normal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And to be honest, I do not believe that the power of the Rishi needs any validation from others.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about certain skills give you power, like money. Everyone wants money because money gives you power. Money allows you to do whatever you want. But again, that power itself,
Mm-hmm.
it's not being defined. And that's what I tried to do, to define power itself. Because for me, power, as long as power over something or over someone external to me, it's not power. If I see power as energy, it's like vital energy. Okay, I I, I start trying to visualize it.
Mm-hmm.
I like when I look at a mountain, and I made that note when and through the journey of the 17 days, they depict that they go through mountains and they see lakes. And for me, that was the silent power of nature. And it for me that those 17 days were almost a ritual, a grieving process, a transition. And I actually wrote what's the power of rituals,
Mm-hmm.
because we have Tarpana, we have the funeral rituals, and all of these rituals, they have a weight to them,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps humans to go through subjectively, to go through situations, to go through the grieving process in this case. So does the mountain wants to be acknowledged as powerful? I don't think so. Does the sea wants to be acknowledged as powerful? I don't think so. But I completely understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And within the context that you brought, I understand it.
Well, I also made a note, but I didn't go in that direction because in last episode I just felt I'm pushing things, and this
Why?
time I feel you are pushing things. That
Sorry.
no, and I get it that mountains and their journey had the power of healing, so probably they felt little bit healed after going through that journey. So yeah, but as I said, like that's where we differ. Like you look more inward and I look more outward, and therefore
And
you
that's why it's a perfect mixture.
yes. Yeah, that's why we are the complementary forces. So, where else you felt power?
I I thought that the Rishi
Mm-hmm.
had the need to, or he understood that the society that he was entering needed a validation of the power of the Pandavas.
Yep.
And he did that through telling who's the natural father of each Pandava.
Yep. I actually wrote that introduction of Pandavas was a power move.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a power move.
Yeah. Like
I
in
think
my those power quadrants, I would say it was sort of a defensive defensive show of power. That this is what these folks are. Uh, they should not be taken lightly. I also felt because in future there can be questions about how Pandavas came into picture, if Pandu had that curse on him or whatever. So uh, I think it it all very well established a path in future so that no such things arrive in future. So I just felt it was a good move.
I agree with you. And while you were talking, I was thinking that maybe it was another power move to ensure that within the castle they would be raised correctly. So he said they were initiated in the and they've done the kshatriya rituals and they knew the Vedas and the blah, and now they need to be taught the kingdom's way or whatever. So I think it was a way of telling, look, this clay, it's the best clay of the world. Do not dare to not shape it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that introduction, and especially there the text also mentions the word as well.
Yeah.
That there was a power in Sage's voice. So
Yep.
to me, yeah, it felt a power move. I also felt that the description of Kunti in the text was quite powerful.
Yeah.
In the sense that she was called Arani, fire of a yagya or a havan, along with the 5 flames for Pandavas.
Mm-hmm.
So I just felt that their presence, the presence of Pandavas, Kunti, the description by rishis was a total power move, which was also needed to establish them in front of the citizens of Hastinapur.
Yeah.
That they are rightful heirs, something of that sort.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Where else you felt power?
I saw the greed for power in Duryodhan. So now, and I'm talking while I'm thinking, okay? For Duryodhan, the throne equals power. And he suffers of an endless ambition of being almighty. And he saw his dream being threatened. So in your graph, where this falls, or does it falls?
I would say he's aspiring to be an aggressive hard power, if possible. And in all honesty, I also feel that he has the credentials to be there. However, because in my definition, as I said, power is all relative. He is born in the era of Pandavas. So in that
comparison.
Era, so in that era, and here, so here in that power element also comes that element of truth and dharma, like because truth and dharma lies in the in Pandavas team or in their favor. So that's why their power quotient is much higher than what Duryodhan has.
And I think what we know about Pandavas, they always bring harmony. So, and sorry, I'm going to push my point of view
Go
again.
ahead.
While Duryodhan, he brings division. Like even Ambika, she's going on to sannyas because the grandsons or they treat her with less than contempt. They bring division. So it's an expression of force. But this is my perception.
And I just perceive that, I don't know, I'm probably making a conclusion, but I guess with what your definitions of power and force are, that power is positive and force is not, which by those definitions I get it, but in all honesty I think power has both connotations to it. It can be positive, it can be negative. That's how I perceive it.
I don't like, that I do not like to label things there as positive, negative, good or bad. I think life is too complex to label with a finite vision. But for me is force, it's weaker than power.
But to be honest, I'm not even bringing force in the picture, because I just feel that I don't need another concept here to see and understand things. But this is me.
And I agree with you. And our theme is power.
Yeah.
So let's power through the concept of power.
Yeah, that was a good pun. Yeah, so I just felt that when you talked about Duryodhan, I just wanted to point out one thing, that they were kind of snickering, laughing when they heard about Pandu's death, which kinds of shows, which shows in some ways that they were disrespectful. So, I feel if you can't contribute anything positive, just contribute zero, but don't contribute negativity. And that's what I felt about them, that they were contributing negativity there. And that's why, as you said, Ambika also decided to leave the place, even though her own son was a king. So in some ideal scenarios, there was no reason for her to leave, but she also decides, along with Satyavati and Ambalika, to leave. And I don't think it aligns with the theme, but I thought that we should talk about the three sisters, Amba, Ambika and Ambalika, because there was just one paragraph which summarized their lives and how tough their lives were, and I also feel how less acknowledged they are. Like Satyavati still gets some limelight in the text. I just feel Ambika and Ambalika, they hardly get any importance. Like even when we were watching
the series,
there also we felt it that way. And here in the text, at least I liked that one paragraph, that they reminded us that how tough their lives had. I'll just give a quick overview to our kind listeners here, that they felt whatever happened with Amba was an evil omen. Then Vichitravirya died after few years. The night with Vyas for Ambika and Ambalika, for both it was traumatizing, and later it was Satyavati's bitterness and anger towards them throughout their lives, that they couldn't give her a capable grandson, a whole grandson. So that, while reading that paragraph, I felt really bad for the two ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And they called the city to be the city of their sorrows.
Yes. Yes.
And I was a bit surprised in the sense that how it is city of sorrows for, uh, I think all three of them called it, even Satyavati called it city of sorrows. So how it is city of sorrows for all those three women, and this city of sorrows is something which Duryodhan wants to inherit so badly. So I just found that dichotomy to be,
It is very interesting.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. What someone perceives as the ultimate beacon of power is something that other people want to abandon and say, no, I'm done with this.
yeah, like
Maybe
someone's,
one it's and Satyavati, in a way, she was ambitious and she wanted that throne,
yeah,
and she learned that that's not the way of finding peace in life,
yeah,
and she's walking away while Duryodhan is trapped in the ambition, in
yeah,
the idea that having the throne is to be the almighty.
yeah. I think, and therefore I wrote power and peace, two contrary ideas and forces, because what I felt was that you perceive peace, like I am of this opinion, again I can be wrong, that one should perceive peace when you feel that you are in a position to perceive peace. Okay, like accomplish something in your life and then perceive peace. I get it, people say that, oh, ultimately you want peace in life, and that's what Satyavati goes for. But I think she is going for peace once she has tasted the power and everything, and then she realized, it's useless, and now I want to go for peace.
So, from your point of view, we can't have both?
I think it's very difficult as humans.
Because I don't think that peace should be our final goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that regardless of the amount of power that you need to deal with, because for me, responsibility brings power.
Mm-hmm.
So
Spider-Man.
I think the ultimate goal is to go through that process in a peaceful state.
Mm-hmm.
And if you lose that peace, that inner peaceful state, it means that you are or getting too attached or getting too entangled, or you need to revisit what it's making you move, what's driving you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I was brought up in a environment of struggle. So, so what happens is, if you are pursuing something, you lose out on your peace.
Can you
Like
illustrate a little bit more?
it's just as simple as that. That in India, if you are growing up and you want to get something in your life, you want to reach somewhere in your life, you can't do it peacefully most of the times. You will have to struggle for it. You will have to fight for it. You will have to trade your peace, if not for a very long time, but for some time for sure, so that you can attain something, you can reach somewhere, and then you can try pursuing peace. That's how, at least that was my life experience, and that's why I perceive world
Yeah.
that way. But yeah,
But you didn't get lost in the process. So you never thought that just the pursuit of that power is the journey of your life.
maybe for few years I may have thought it that way.
Okay.
And it cannot be like, I'm not saying that it was simply because of the pursuit or something. It can be plain ignorance, or because you are in so much, you are in that moment, so you
Mm-hmm.
can't look at the bigger picture of life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes it's better to not look for a very long picture in life,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you are young. It's better to look for some immediate goals.
Mm-hmm.
uh, because I am a firm believer, like, if you want to pursue philosophy, you should have security in your life. Like, first get some financial security, something in your life, and then you pursue peace, then you pursue philosophy. Nothing is bad with those things, but I think you should not be worried about your next meal,
Yeah.
or else
You
pursuing
can.
peace.
Someone said that you can't reach enlightenment with an empty stomach.
Yeah. Buddha said this, or what? Let's
No,
attribute
no,
Buddha.
no, no. It wasn't Buddha at all.
Laughing Buddha.
No,
Okay.
no. It
Okay.
was a Tibetan monk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah.
And I understand what you are saying, and you make me think about the pyramid of needs,
Mm-hmm.
where at the base of the pyramid it's survival, and you cannot go to the higher well, where the top of that pyramid is that spiritual um, spiritual fulfillment or self awareness and wisdom. uh, and until the base of the pyramid is not fulfilled, you cannot move up. And I was privileged
Mm-hmm.
compared to you, and I'm European, so I have privileges that I'd not even know, because it's the
Mm.
water where I was swimming and I swim. So I do understand what you're saying.
Mm.
Uh, but for me, it's important that in that rush and in that looking to fulfill the survival needs, to not stay stuck on that, because it doesn't matter how many houses you have, they will never bring you peace.
Yeah. You are only going to use couple of square meters.
Or how many millions you have in your bank account.
Yeah. And that's what I especially felt when I moved here to West. I see a spiritual vacuum somehow, little bit. Uh, like
Can
vacuum in the sense in people.
can you illustrate that concept of spiritual vacuum?
I just felt that I see a lot of people, um, where I just felt that they are either looking for something, or they are not looking out at all. So I've
Looking for something.
like, in the sense that, so what I feel is that the people have dearth of causes many times here. Like, they don't have enough causes. We as humans, I feel we like to solve problems.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and if we don't have enough problems to solve,
Mm-hmm.
then we look around. What exactly, how can I contribute? Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I feel, that we
Mm-hmm.
humans, we like to contribute. uh, we are not as selfish as a species as we perceive ourselves to be. So we like to contribute and we like to look for causes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have enough avenues to contribute, I feel then there's a vacuum in people. When they
Okay.
Yeah, so when, like, I feel that in general, prosperity is like there is good enough prosperity in West.
Would you say that it's a soulless prosperity?
No, I would not call it that way. Like, but I just feel that there is something in, or maybe it's just because I grew up in India. I saw how much spirituality or religion they play part in people's lives on a day-to-day basis, which I don't see. It's not very visible here.
And do you which environment empowers more the individual?
Well, for sure, West empowers the individual more because you have more. I feel you have more spare time, money, and resources to think about things just beyond your basic survival or your life, uh, or your own life.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel obviously West empowers people more. I just feel that there are not enough avenues. Like, in many ways, I feel uh, people, and yeah, like this is the thing. I see a lot of, I see
Polarization.
I see people at the spectrums. Okay, there are people who are open to pursue everything. Okay, whatever is available to them. For example, that this is one contrasting thing which I see in India and West. In West, people are open enough to pursue something which is totally alien to their culture.
Mm-hmm.
In India, that will hardly happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you are born and brought up in something, and most of the times you will die in that belief system.
Yeah.
Especially if you have reasonably, like if you have enough in your life. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if you are not poor or something, you can't be persuaded or something. You will try to find your truth through the belief system you grew up with.
Yeah.
Okay, in West, I feel the people who actually go out to explore, they are open to explore each and everything, and they are not closed minded to pursue something new.
Can I share an idea that just came to my mind?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry if it's not fully formed.
Mm-hmm.
In West,
Mm-hmm.
so I think what every human being is looking for is fulfillment, happiness, peace. In the West, we already explored the avenue of material.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, and we understood that yes, we need the basic to fulfill the needs of our body, mental health, blah, blah, blah. But the avenue is not that one. However, we have the belief, the belief that science and divinity are two opposite sides and they cannot cohabit was created. One that I don't agree. I think you can be a brilliant scientist and believe in God. For me, that's perfectly and completely understandable. And what I see, so in West, we are kind of, okay, Christianity didn't work. Science, it's not enough. It doesn't fulfill my heart. My survival is fulfilled, but having more material things doesn't make me feel fulfilled inside. So we are looking for things, unfortunately, sometimes in wrong ways, like what we see with yoga, that they took the yoga out of yoga in order to sell it. But we are looking for ways, different ideas, but we continue to look outside. We are not looking inside, because looking inside, it's hard. Looking inside show, all all the things that need to be fixed, all the traumas that we put under our carpet, all the tears that we didn't cry. So it's still hard to look inside, and we still try to find a way of going through the process without suffering or without pain. I think in India, it's fully familiarized with suffering and pain, and it's still trying to survive. And it understood that, we need the basics, we need to cover the survivals. So it's going to the extreme to cover that survival. But within the belief systems that are known to the society or to the small pockets of society. But at the end, we are all looking for the same. We are at different stages. I think Western culture tries to avoid suffering and pain. And from my point of view, suffering, it's what will allow you to be free. You need to go through it. It's not a path of flowers and butterflies. And India knows suffering. It's okay with pain.
Yeah, in some ways. And that's the thing, like, I still believe that people who are going through sufferings in India, or even those people who are struggling to make their basic needs, they still have some element of spirituality in their outlook.
They believe in something bigger than themselves.
They believe in something. What I feel what has happened is because of a lot of, the way religion has behaved in West. There are like now generations which have been raised in a very non-religious,
I would say, soulless way. In the sense of, for me, faith, it's the right to believe in myself. It's the right of defeating the odds. It's the right of having science or having someone telling me, oh, this is not possible. And I have the right of working and fighting and showing that this is possible. And that power or that energy, it's kind of taken away. And we see children growing with everything that they want and everything that they need, and without facing adversity. And when they become an adult, they don't know how to face adversity. And adversity, it's what makes you grow. It's what makes you thrive. So we are learning how to be a human, and we are learning that too much suffering, it's not okay. Too much pampering, it's not okay. And we are still trying to find the path of the middle.
I agree to everything. Only I'm not in fight with science. But
and I'm not in fight. Look, I love science.
No, but your definition of faith was directly punching on the face of science, which is okay.
It was just an example. It was just an example, and it's like, and it's very personal, because someone telling me, oh, you will feel pain for the rest of your life because of this. And I told to myself, no, it is possible to have a fulfilled life and not have pain. And I don't have pain, and I have a fulfilled life. So, and it's that idea of sometimes we give so much of our power to other people, to authorities, to people that we believe that know more than ourselves, that we limit our possibilities.
Yeah. And I think on this note, we should come back because we have digressed
Oh,
for
yeah.
so long.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Okay, and actually, we are almost hitting 1 hour.
Yeah.
So, anything important that you want to bring from the chapter about power, or should we go to Naman?
Not about power, but I just felt there was another oath for Bhishma in the chapter that don't dream of dying. Like it until Yudhishthir ruled from its throne. It wasn't a throne, but again an added responsibility on him. And yeah, he was a powerful soul who could take all these responsibilities. So I think that was it mainly, and we can probably move ahead with lessons or blessing, whatever.
Okay. What do you want? Lessons or
Lessons.
lessons? Today I will bring a sentence because I'm still reflecting on it, and actually I mentioned it while doing the summary. Yep. So when Vyasa is telling Satyavati of what is to come, he says, millions will fight and die, most without knowing the reason of their being born, or being slaughtered like beasts on a hunt. And this sentence first was kind of a punch in my stomach, and after brought tears to my eyes. Because for me, it's us. The war, it's our day-to-day life. Most of us, we don't know why we were born, or maybe there's no why, we don't know. And especially for what we are fighting. And I think that's the part that it's missing, especially in West, that why I'm doing this. What's driving me behind. I'm doing this. What's the intention? What's the power behind it? And it is that spark that it's quite dim, and we just do things because it's what I do every day, more or less as an autopilot. And I see and I hope that we are trying to get out of that zombie state and water a plant, knowing that we are giving a little bit of life and acknowledging the plant. And we go to work not only because of the salary that I receive at the end of the month, but because I'm helping my colleague. I'm driving something that will help other people. And I think it's that part. We are fighting a battle and we don't know why. And it's where West is trying to get out of.
Well, I also made a note of that line, and I could remember only one. I don't know who said this, but one person dying is a tragedy. Thousands of people dying is a statistics.
Yeah.
So which essentially shows the truth about our societies. Like it's not that it's just not Mahabharata. I feel in our real lives as well. Like somewhere some archduke died, and then suddenly half of the human civilization is fighting, and
Nobody cares.
Yeah, and millions are dying.
Yeah.
And that had been our realities. So I just felt that we humans, we are culprits of not learning from our past at all, and we keep on repeating the same mistakes. And I think you rightly said, when those millions are us, like we are probably living without any direction or purpose, or not being conscious enough of why we are doing certain things and what are we doing. uh, but I feel, yeah, like being little bit vigilant in our actions,
Mm-hmm.
and like to see our own actions as a third party,
Yeah,
like looking down.
awareness.
Yeah, that awareness, yes, probably it can help a lot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Naman?
Yes, please.
Hello.
Well, I had many candidates today. I didn't know whom to go with, but in the end, I decided to go with, a very hypocrite of me that I talked about Ambika Ambalika so much, but I'm going with Satyavati,
Mm-hmm.
because in those last few lines where I also felt like her whole life was also struggle. Like she didn't get a lot out of it. Uh, Only she has to leave knowing some very better predictions, truths, dark truths about her descendants, and I just felt little bit bad for her, that okay, she's going away from the story, and probably this is the last time we are seeing her in the epic. And yeah, she's still pursuing peace, which at least the text says she eventually gets it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just
You
felt,
said she's still pursuing peace. For
yeah,
me, it's finally she's pursuing
yeah,
peace.
yeah.
Um,
She couldn't find it in her family life.
mm-hmm.
Like she tried it hard,
Mm-hmm.
but she just couldn't find it. And
I think she found a little bit, and I wanted to talk about this. So I'm sorry.
mhm,
Um, Bhishma and her, they were kind of a power joint venture. They
mhm,
were, they would empower each other, and Bhishma only realized that when she decided to go, and I found that beautiful.
mhm.
Thank you for your Naman.
And
I
yours?
thought about Satyavati too,
Mhm,
uh, but I want to bless the architect of this chapter, that was the elder Rishi.
mhm,
I think if the Rishis didn't walk with them, if the Rishi haven't said a very kind distortion of the reality, because the Rishi says, "Oh, as you know, the Pandu went to the forest because of the curse of a Rishi." Well, the curse of the Rishi was because he killed the Rishi and the wife by
mhm,
mistake, yes, but they didn't mention that. They
mhm,
just said the curse of a Rishi, and they were the masters of bringing back the Kunti and bringing the Pandavas. And if they weren't presented to the society
mhm,
with so much power, probably they wouldn't be as respected and cherished as they were. So that's my namam goes to the rishis.
Kudos, Elder Rishi.
Yeah.
Unnamed Elder Rishi. But yeah,
Yes.
yeah, makes sense. Uh,
And okay, that's it. We'll be back with chapter 24 and 25. Chapter 24, The Seeds of Envy. Chapter 25, At Pramankoti. And may the force be with you.
And what's the theme?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. What's the theme? Tell me, what's the theme?
Gratitude.
Yes, well done. Any call outs?
Well, just wanted to let you know that next week we may not be here because we are going for a small hike and a small. We'll be staying at some place near Dublin. Probably we may share a shot with you here and there if we find something pretty, and we will be back
If
after
we
that.
are inspired by the power of nature.
Yes, I think we will be. And we will be back after that. And I would request you to comment your own interpretations of power, what you perceive with power. And please let us know with whose definition you aligned more with. Are you like me, looking for power outside the world, or like Leonor, looking for power within you? With these words, we take your leave.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Namaste.